Welcome to our Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro review. I got the 28 liter and the 22 liter. And in this review, we're gonna pack both these bags out, talk about their pros and their cons, show you what new things Bellroy is bringing to the table, and in case you're not feeling these bags, I got some alternative bag recommendations I'll make at the end of the video, so you're gonna wanna stick around for that. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about the gist of the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro backpacks. If you aren't aware, Bellroy is an Australian carry brand who has been known for years for making sort of lightweight, quirky, urban gear. But over the past year or so, they've been sort of expanding their product line, experimenting and innovating a little bit. And these bags are an absolute reflection of that for a multitude of reasons. Some of the Workpack's top features being clamshell, style opening, PU coated zippers on every compartment, a side access water bottle holder, a quick access pocket at the top that has some pretty impressive depth to it, and in very atypical Bellroy fashion, some chunky ass shoulder straps. The bag comes in two sizes. The 22 liter is great for typical everyday carry. Could be a great travel companion as well as a personal item. And the 28 liter is an ideal size if you carry a ton of gear in your everyday, or if you want to use a relatively smaller one bag travel pack. The Workpack Pro currently comes in three color options. You got the olive, the black, and this one, stone. The 22 liter, it's about 18 inches tall. The 28 liter, it's about 20 inches tall. 22 liter, about 12 inches width. And the 28 liter, around 12 and a half. According to our trusty E-Tech City scale, the 22 liter weighs 2.2 pounds and the 28 liter weighs 2.3 pounds, which is pretty impressive for the 28 liter, not too bad. This is the 22 liter when it's empty. This is when it's packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. And this is the 28 liter when it's empty and packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. And don't you worry, we're gonna pack out both bags thoroughly to the brim so you can see exactly what they fit. All Bellroy bags are covered by a 3-year warranty, which protects you against manufacturing defects. And we're currently shooting this review 2 weeks before these bags are actually launched, so we don't have the prices yet. But if you're interested in picking up one of these packs and getting it at the best price possible, be sure to do so with the first link in the description below. Reason being, like I said, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro. Now, like I said, I'm gonna pack out both bags 2 sections from now, but for the next section or 2 of the review, I'm gonna stick with the 22 liter. The first thing I like to talk about in this section is the aesthetic, which in typical Bellroy fashion, they frickin' nailed. Ooh, and also one more point. We actually got these bags in the mail like 4 or 5 days ago, and our media manager, Margaret, has been using it on a daily basis. So I'm gonna be checking in with her every now and then to be like, yo, Margaret, what'd you think about this? Margaret, what'd you think about that? So be on standby. But one thing that's very important to Margaret and myself is that aesthetic, right? And Bellroy just nailed it. Super clean, super fresh. And the thing that contributes to that cleanness and freshness is this primary fabric, which is not typical Bellroy. And you're gonna see a lot of this where it's like Bellroy's trying to do some new things. One of which is this material, which is sort of like it's a nylon, but it's almost like a 420 ballistic. And nylon is an ideal fabric for backpacks because it's abrasion resistant, weather resistant, and looks fresh and clean. Bellroy's branding got a little bit smaller. I feel like in some of their more recent new bags, a little bit bigger. I think it shrunk back down ever so slightly. You can see, very clean front panel, and we got this front top pocket right here. One thing to note too, yet again, not usually in typical Bellroy fashion, is that every single compartment on this bag, yes, every single one, is PU coated. Now, PU coated zippers have their own set of pros and cons. On the pro, that PU coating, polyurethane, is highly weather resistant. But on the con side, that coating can peel over time. Just depends on the make of the zipper and how much sun exposure it gets. Something to keep in mind. And you can see when we're in, very nice. One thing to note too that Margaret mentioned as well, these are quite smooth for PU coated zippers. A lot of PU coated zippers are like, you gotta put an extra little tricep in there, you know, it's like gym day, open. But these relatively smoother while still keeping out the rain. And voila, we're in. One interesting thing about this pocket too is that it is longer. It extends all the way down here. And as Bellroy always do, we got some quirk going on in here, some beautiful interior materials. But then again, they're like, hey, let's just throw some blue binding on here because, why not? In this pocket, we have one sleeve, 2 pen compartments, elastic meshy pocket, and then the big old canyon down there. Now, normally I would pack out this compartment in this part of the video, but since we're doing a double bag pack out, we're gonna wait to the next section, which I'm gonna transition into right now. So let's go ahead and talk about the middle of the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro. Notice on the bottom, this bag has a very beautiful, circular, sexy kind of shape, which makes the bag lovely to look at, but it's not gonna make it a very good self-standing bag. On side number 1, clean panel, nothing here, but we do have a back access pocket here. I love this pocket for 2 reasons. One, when you swing the bag around, it's super easy to grab whatever you have in there. Just kind of unzip, zip, grab what you need. But the thing that I need most, and reason number 2 I love this pocket, is that Bellroy has included the key leash. Because if there's one thing that I want quick access to, it's my keys. I don't want to have to rummage around the middle of the bag and be like, where the F did I put those effers? I just want to grab it quickly. But the good thing is if you don't want to put your keys in here, the pocket has some decent size to it, and it runs actually down to here in the bag. So it could be a semi-safe and accessible storage spot for also your cell phone. Other side, we have a water bottle pocket. Now this is one of those innie outie water bottle pockets, which again, like everything else, have their own unique set of pros and cons. The pro is that look, right? Flush, clean, sleek. You get it. But on the con side, a water bottle pocket like this will eat into the main compartment. So whatever water bottle you have here gets pushed inside, and therefore main compartment capacity compromised. But it also could be a great spot for an umbrella, small little tech pouch. I'll show you exactly what it can pack out in just a second. Now getting into the main compartment, and actually this is where we'll bring over our larger friend, the 28 liter, just so you can kind of see them side by side and the differences in their size. I'll be honest, they're not astonishingly different. Like we actually had to like kind of hold the bags up and I was like, that's a 22. It wasn't immediately apparent, but as you can see, the interior of both these bags are the same. They both have compression straps here, mesh pockets here, and that is it. Oh no. Also, Bellroy's hidden AirTag sleeve in their tag. Love that touch, and I always forget it. The choice of the dark blue lining, super interesting. I don't think that olive green and blue necessarily go together. It works great with the black. Olive green was an interesting choice with the blue. I don't know, what do you think? Am I just being like way too like pretentious? Oh, olive green and blue. I feel like with the olive green, a different color may have been nicer. And don't tell me you can't afford it, Bellroy. You've got 14 million SKUs. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the olive green blue combination? Also, I'm not sure what I think about having the internal compression strap system. 30 liter plus bag, I get that, but this is a Workpack. I'm not compressing a lot of clothes when I'm work packing. Comment request number 2, let me know what you think. Like, is this like a cool thing to you? Are you glad the bags came with these? The 28 liter makes more sense to me. 22, I'm not quite as sure about. Let me hear your thoughts below. All right, let's pack it out. I'm gonna start with the 22 liter and build from there. All right, you can see right here, I got a bunch of random EDC stuff. Let's kind of pack it out and see what fits where. In the top drop pocket, I'm gonna throw my sunnies in this elastic mesh area. Love this freaking material. Very elasticy, very meshy, very smooth. My glasses feel safe. All right, I'm gonna throw a couple pens in the pen sleeve. Wallet up top. And for this space, we got a lot of options. Like, you know, I wanna throw a novel in there. Nice fit. iPad 12-inch, absolutely fits. But for me, given the quicker access nature of this pocket, it's gonna be where I'm gonna put my over-the-head headphones. Now for the main compartment, just gonna pack it up. We got this mesh pocket right here, which Margaret and I both agree on. We're not a huge fan of this mesh. It's sort of a sharper, sturdier mesh, similar to kind of what you see Evergoods and modern day fair use. And because that has no elasticity, but it will be quite durable. So maybe I'm gonna put my reading glasses in there and an adapter. Main compartment, I'm gonna throw my Unbound merino hoodie at the bottom, book at the back, tech pouch galore. I will say for a 22 liter, it feels a little tight, maybe closer to like 20, 21. Sling, just in case, and throw some of my excess wires in the mesh compartment. Let's give it a zip. Yeah, I stick to what I say. It feels like a 20 liter. Final answer. Now for this side pocket, as I mentioned, due to its location, very flush when you have a water bottle in there, but also it's gonna eat into the main compartment. Now, this main compartment is not fully packed out. So you can see I got my 22-ounce Columbia water bottle. I should be able to slide that in and zip it closed pretty well. And then on the side zipper pocket, things that I want quicker access to, keys, and I'm gonna throw my AirPods in there as well because they'll sink to the bottom. You got to love a quick access pocket. And yep, she is pretty full. But now, let's see how well the 28 liter can handle all this stuff and if it can take some more stuff on top of it. All right, let's switch it all over. Okay, done. So as you can see, I basically just transferred everything over from the 22 liter into the 28 liter in the exact same compartments. And you can see in the main compartment, we got a lot more room to play with, as one would hope. So let's get kind of weird with it and see what happens when I put a Peak Design packing cube in here and try to put the other stuff in. So the packing cube fits at the bottom, tech pouch 2, hoodie, and that should pack up. I don't know, Margaret, what do you think? You traveled around with the 28 liter mostly. Does it feel like a 28 liter to you? Or does it feel a little smaller? Yeah, interesting, because I think that the 28 liter, feels like around that capacity to me, but I stick to what I said as to where the 20 liter 22 liter actually feels a bit more like a 20 liter. Yeah, overall pretty nice capacity. But while I am pretty impressed by this bag so far, we're not gonna really know how work-packy of a pro it actually is until we look at the laptop compartment and the comfort. So let's go ahead and transition into the next section. Let's talk about the back of the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro. Now leading off with the tech compartment, you can see we just have this little moon crescent moon opening right here. Yet again, protected with a YKK PU coated zipper. And in this compartment, we have a little stash pocket right here, which just kind of runs down there. And then you got a divider, which gives you access to the laptop compartment. Now, this would be a good spot for like a DOP kit, but for me, I'm gonna go ahead and put my Moleskine notebook in there, or at least try to. So like I said, this bag is fully packed out. The compartments are eating into each other ever so slightly, but then again, they usually do when backpacks are fully packed out. And then let's get an idea of what size laptop this can fit. This is a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Should slide on in. Oh, very smooth, no problem. How about the 16-inch MacBook Pro cutout? Remember, this is a 28 liter, but it can also, yep, fit a 16-inch MacBook Pro, perfection. The laptop compartment itself, decent amount of padding, especially on the back panel. You got this divider here as well for extra padding. And then false bottom check, we're coming to like right around here. So you got a little bit of space to play with. And then just to check the 22 liter, 13-inch MacBook Pro, perfection. But I don't think it'll fit the 16-inch. Will it? Will it? Will it? It certainly will. So fun fact, you can get a 16-inch MacBook Pro in the 22 liter version of this bag. Now, sticking with the 28 liter, some other notes on the back of the bag. Got a really nice top handle here. I like this top handle. Reinforced stitching on either side, decent amount of space to grab, premium webbing. This top handle's just got it going on. But you know what else has got it going on? Are these shoulder straps. Margaret, after wearing this bag for almost a week, fully decked out with all your gear, was it comfortable? Which is interesting because Margaret used the Air Travel Pack 3 Small as her EDC before, which is almost 3 inches distance at the top of the shoulder straps. You can see on the Bellroy, it's about 2 inches, which isn't uncommon, but I'll test the pinching myself when I wear the bag in just a second. Thank you for that feedback, Margaret. But you did say aside from that, mostly comfortable? And I would say I agree with that, or at least I expect to, because you can see right here, Bellroy is going very un-Bellroy with really intense padding on the back panel and chonkaliciousness padding on the shoulder straps. And the shoulder straps in particular are interesting because I've never quite seen a design like this as to where there's sort of like this fold. And you can see right there, there's just like almost like 2 different materials as to where you can kind of really get in there and see the ventilation and the padding from the outside. But the shoulder straps aren't like super wide. They do taper down in that typical Bellroy fashion. We got a sternum strap right here with a dangle stopper, hashtag stop the dangle. Metal hardware at the bottom, not my favorite. I've gone so back and forth in this. I used to love metal hardware, kind of a premium looking feel, but sometimes over time, the metal doesn't quite catch the webbing as well as the plastic does. It's kind of a pro and a con there, but I do love the little thumb loop-de-loops at the bottom, just kind of allow you to tighten the bag like that with the thumb's a little extra leverage. Now let's talk luggage pass-through holder, because Bellroy has included something quite interesting. Because as you can see, the luggage pass-through looks a little tight, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to fit my luggage on there. But then you can see you pull it, and there's actually some elasticity to the luggage pass-through where you can go from this to like that. Now, I don't know how that's exactly inserted in there. Feels like some sort of elastic, which I feel like will die over time and leave this sort of just hanging out super long like that. But this bag is fully packed out. You can see on the luggage, slides right on, looks good, looks clean. I always appreciate it when my bag can stand upright and not to the side. And I'm still a little nervous about the longevity of such a solution, but for now, definitely gets the job done. And finally, let's give it a good old-fashioned comfort test. Oh yeah, chunkalicious on them straps. You can kind of see what Margaret's saying. The shoulder straps definitely come to a little bit of a head, a little bit closer than I might like, but I don't think I noticed it too much. Definitely can feel really nice padding on the back. Sternum strap, a little extra support. The width at the top of the straps feels very supportive. Yeah, I mean, overall, I can say without a doubt, this is Bellroy's most comfortable backpack. This is the kind of comfort that I'm looking for in a bag. Should be noted though, might be too chunky for some. I know my sister, the host of Gear for the Girls, she doesn't like these big ass shoulder straps. She understands the functional value, but it's just like too much stuff for her. So pro and a con there, just depends on your personal taste. Yeah, but overall, really comfortable bag. And if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, holy crap, I had no idea this epic, crazy world of backpacks even existed. This dude's nerding out. I want to nerd out with him. Well, if that's the case, I want to tell you that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just have a YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter, which takes this whole backpack thing and we go the extra mile. And in that newsletter, I'm like your reporter in the field, giving you all the breaking news, insider info on new drops, new collabs, new fabrics that are being used, limited edition bag, you name it, I'm covering it in the newsletter. So if you want to stay up to date with what's happening in this amazing carry community, be sure to just look for this globe emoji in the description below. I hope to see you in your inbox. Back to this guy. All right, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Bellroy Transit Workpack Pro. Pro number 1 is going to be the really Impressive comfort, especially by Bellroy standards. Pro number 2, if you like weather-resistant zippers, this bag has got you covered. And pro number 3, I think this front admin pocket is great as to where it's very minimalist, but it does add a little bit of extra depth. It's actually just quite versatile in terms of what you get out of it. But on the cons, I got 3 for you. Con number 1 is the 22 liter does feel a little tight for its marketed capacity. Con number 2 is you can see right here where my over-the-head headphones were inside the bag. When it was fully packed out and pushing against this fabric, it got some marks, which just kind of makes me question the overall abrasion resistance of this fabric. And con number 3 is, although that I know that Margaret and myself love an innie outie water bottle holder, a lot of people in this community prefer an old school traditional exterior water bottle holder. But if you're still here, there's a good chance that you're thinking to yourself, holy moly, that's the work bag of my dreams. And if that's the case and you're gonna make a purchase, just a reminder that you can get the best price and access to any discount codes that we might have using the first link in the description below. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about 2 alternative bags that might better suit your needs. Number 1 is gonna be the Air Travel Pack 3 Small. Great option for you if you're looking for a larger EDC/smaller travel bag with super comfy shoulder straps, bunch of organization, just a little bit different of an aesthetic. Great option. And the other alt rec I got for you is the Alpaka Elements Backpack Pro. Great option for you if you really want a sleek sort of a look. Really solid work bag, gorgeous interior materials. Both bags, again, have their own unique set of pros and cons. And to find out what those are, you can just watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.